All right, and we wanted to do more on this story, obviously. So John Dadian, he was with Sherry yesterday. He joins us this morning because there's still some questions surrounding this. Was this a ratings ploy? What's your thoughts on what was said and now his apology? Because people were waiting for this apology.
Well, I think a very important point is that he's never apologized before, and he's been criticized. He's been on for many years, over decades, et cetera. He's never apologized for. So I think that's a huge benchmark as far as the Rush Limbaugh saga.
Is he a liability for the conservative movement in this country?
Oh, I think to a certain extent he is, because clearly it's going to turn some people off. But it's actually, again, you saw several Republicans on that story that don't support it. Republicans in the leadership position in Congress have come out against this. So I think universally, I haven't seen anybody coming in his defense.
Mitt Romney was asked about Rush Limbaugh's comments, I believe, on Friday, and he didn't really say much. He kind of just said, I'm here to talk about the issues. That's not an issue. Is that the right answer for Mitt Romney at this point?
My opinion, if I was consulted with him, he should have come out strong against it. But keep in mind, you always have to look at what somebody's motives are. Mitt Romney's motives right now are real simple, is to get delegates, and he's got a lot riding on Super Tuesday. Rush Limbaugh's only goal is ratings, period. Ratings. As long as his rating stays up, he stays on the air, and he makes a living.
So was this a ratings ploy, in your opinion?
Oh, I think so. I think the whole persona of Rush Limbaugh is a ratings ploy. If he's not controversial, people aren't going to tune in.
Let's get to Super Tuesday. 400 delegates up for grabs on Super Tuesday, which is a lot. It's about a third of what's needed for the for getting the nomination. How do you see Super Tuesday breaking out?
I think it's going to be a hodgepodge. I don't see a big sweep for any one candidate. Ron Paul might even win a state, which will send shockwaves. To me, the interesting thing about Super Tuesday is when I use the term hodgepodge, we're talking about geographically, it's going from Massachusetts to Alaska. It's going from the Dakotas down to Georgia. Politically speaking, it's a combination of primaries and caucuses. So it really is a hodgepodge. Gingrich has to win Georgia to stay alive. Looks like he's going to. He's heading the polls, but he has to win to stay alive. Massachusetts should be okay for Romney, but in Santorum, Ohio's the one to watch. Ohio could go either way.
I like the phrase hodgepodge, because here in California, oftentimes this type of stuff doesn't matter to us. We tend to sit in our own little political bubble over here in California. But there is a chance that California's primary could matter this year. What would have to happen on Super Tuesday for California's primary to matter?
A couple things. First of all, for each candidate to win a couple. If Romney wins 3 or 4 states, Gingrich wins Georgia, one other, Santorum wins the big one, Ohio. If that happens, then it's still very undecided. And keep in mind, when I say hodgepodge as far as caucuses and primaries, also another big difference is some of these are what they call proportional and some are winner-take-all. California is winner-take-all, so most delegates of any state at 172. So if it is split up going into the June 5th California primary, this is the, I'll use another cliche, this is the big enchilada.
So is that likely in your opinion?
I think it's highly likely, absolutely, the way it's looking right now. Again, the latest polls that I've seen, and we've seen these polls pretty much have been accurate, but not always as far as election day surprises. But Ohio, it looks like Santorum's going to win that. If he wins that, Romney wins 3 or 4 others, Gingrich wins 1 or 2, that means Super Tuesday really was diluted.
John, can you give us some perspective on this in terms of, in the past with GOP presidential nominations, after Super Tuesday, what is the likelihood that 1 or 2 of these candidates would drop out?
I think it's apples and oranges from what we're presented with today, because usually, to answer your question directly, Super Tuesday usually is a clearinghouse. Yeah. Usually after Super Tuesday, there is a main front runner. If you remember, again, Bush and McCain in 2000, McCain won a couple states, so put a little scare. After Super Tuesday, it was all over. So all of
different though this year, right?
It's completely different. And one of the big differences is, and we've seen independent candidates before that type of thing, but in the Republican primary, it is a difference that Ron Paul is in, because nobody thinks Ron Paul is going to be the nominee. Ron Paul doesn't think he's going to be the nominee. Here's a couple important points. He's having enough cash flow that once he wins a couple states, the more money comes in, and he's able to do the basics, go to the next primary state, rent the hotel rooms, get on the TV shows, so that keeps him alive. What he wants to do, his goal is not to win, it's to get enough delegates to have a voice at the convention. You haven't seen that in past conventions, so that's a major difference.
They can negotiate delegates.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's up for Paul, too.
And keep in mind, absolutely, and to give you another example, not only can the candidates kind of start, talking to the state chairs, et cetera, but just this weekend we had the Washington State primary, and everybody's saying that, that Romney won that, but that was a non-binding. So I refer to that as a beauty contest. It did nothing more. Now, perception's important in politics, but it didn't actually commit delegates, and I don't think that's clearly being reported.
Well, it was just now
reported.
That's what you got me around for.
Right here. I know. Well, John, thank you so much. We're going to obviously talk to you more on Tuesday, and all eyes will really be on this race.
Super Tuesday will be super.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Excited for it. Thanks so much. All right.